Millions of armies around the world were shocked to the point of tears after hearing firsthand the words that came out of Kim Taehyung's mouth about Jungkook. The statement was delivered by Taehyung during a live broadcast on Weverse, and within minutes, the video clip spread across various social media platforms. What exactly did Taehyung reveal? Why did this statement leave so many fans feeling broken and surprised? The moment occurred when Taehyung appeared to be speaking casually, but his tone gradually shifted to something more serious. He began talking about something he rarely mentions in public, his relationship with Jungkook. Fans initially thought it was just light chatter, but every word he uttered triggered an emotional wave that was hard to contain. No one expected that behind the smile they had always seen, there was a burden so heavy. Sources who witnessed the broadcast described an unusual expression on Taehyung's face, his gaze empty, as if trying to hold something back. He mentioned Jungkook's name several times, but this time with a slower intonation, as if each word carried a weight that was not to be taken lightly. The viewers of the live stream immediately flooded the comment section, trying to guess what he was actually trying to say. But not long after, Taehyung's words left thousands of people worldwide silent. "He's far away, and I don't know when we'll be able to talk like we used to again," Taehyung said. That short sentence sounded simple, but its effect was extraordinarily powerful. Considering Jungkook is currently in Los Angeles, United States, for a series of activities, many suspected this statement was not just an ordinary expression of longing. There was a clear tone of loss, and it sparked curiosity. Was there something bigger going on between them? Social media was instantly flooded with clips of the moment. Related tags and phrases topped the trending charts in various countries. Armies from around the globe admitted to being shocked and moved, some even saying they cried upon hearing it. Taehyung rarely speaks like this. "Something feels different," one fan wrote on X. Analyses from diehard fans and major fanbase accounts began to emerge, dissecting his tone of voice, choice of words, and even his facial expressions when he spoke those words. Within minutes, the issue grew into a global conversation. Many speculated that the physical distance between Jungkook and Taehyung was not the only factor. Some fans linked this statement to a more complex situation, including schedule pressures, personal conditions, or even matters not yet disclosed to the public. This speculation sparked heated debates in online forums, while some armies urged everyone to hold back and not make unproven assumptions. However, the appeal of this moment lay in the uncertainty it left behind. Taehyung did not elaborate further, nor did he clarify the meaning of his words. The live broadcast continued with an entirely different topic, leaving millions of viewers with an unanswered question. Why did he choose to say this now? Why, in the middle of Jungkook's busy schedule in America, did Taehyung make a statement that triggered such emotional interpretations? Fans who followed Jungkook's activities in Los Angeles said that he was seen attending several private events and spending time with fellow musicians. Photos and videos circulating showed him looking cheerful, but for some armies, that smile now felt different after hearing Taehyung's words. They sensed there was something unseen beneath the surface, something only those closest to them would understand. What made the situation even more tense was how the two names always became the center of attention whenever there were issues involving relationships between BTS members. Taehyung and Jungkook, often discussed for their closeness, were once again in the spotlight, but now in a more emotional context. Longtime fans recalled past moments showing their intimacy, then compared them to the current situation. The difference in atmosphere made many feel a sense of loss. Several Korean entertainment media analysts assessed that Taehyung's words could be read as personal reflection, not merely a public statement. Considering his usual tendency to guard his privacy, such a comment during a live broadcast is extremely rare. This is what made its impact so great. He seemed to open a small door into a space that had long been kept tightly closed in a broader context. This moment also showed how much emotional influence BTS members have on their fans. A single sentence can trigger thousands of interpretations, millions of comments, and even tears. For many armies, Taehyung's statement was not just about missing Jungkook, but also a symbol of a deeper sense of loss. Was this a sign that their relationship was going through a rough patch? Or was it rather a form of openness, showing how strong their bond was despite the distance? To this day, There has been no further explanation from either Taehyung or Jungkook regarding the moment. This uncertainty keeps the issue alive. Some fans try to remain optimistic, believing it was just a spontaneous remark born from a tight schedule and physical distance. However, for others, Taehyung's tone and gaze were too hard to ignore. The fact that the statement was spoken live in front of millions of fans added to its emotional weight. Taehyung could have chosen to keep it to himself, yet he decided to share it at that moment. That decision has now become the subject of endless discussion. Did he want fans to know that he missed Jungkook? Or was there a hidden message understood only by certain people? Amid this uncertainty, one thing is clear. The moment left a deep mark on the hearts of millions of armies. For them, the statement was a reminder that behind the glittering stage and camera lights, idols are also human beings with feelings, longing, and limitations. And when those emotions are revealed, the impact can be so powerful that the whole world feels it. However, after the massive wave of reactions on social media and fanbase coverage worldwide, further investigations revealed that the narrative formed from Taehyung's live broadcast had in fact been twisted by excessive interpretation. A detailed analysis of the full weverse broadcast showed a context far different from the public's perception. The viral video clip that spread everywhere actually contained only a few seconds of Taehyung's statement, separated from the sentences before and after, shifting its meaning entirely and the full broadcast. The sentence that initially sounded emotional and sparked widespread speculation was in fact part of a lighthearted joke Taehyung made while discussing the members' schedules. He mentioned Jungkook being far away in the United States, then continued with a casual comment about their respective busy agendas. This later part was rarely highlighted on social media because it did not match the dramatic narrative that had gone viral. This fact was reinforced by statements from fans who had watched the broadcast in full. They confirmed that there was no deep sense of loss or signs of conflict, as had been widely reported. On the contrary, Taehyung appeared calm and even smiled occasionally when talking about Jungkook. Viewers who cut and shared only a certain part of the live unintentionally created a misleading public perception. Several internal sources familiar with the members' communication patterns also confirmed that Taehyung and Jungkook's relationship remains completely fine. They still regularly communicate despite the distance and schedules. Time zone differences and individual agendas do reduce their direct interaction, but there are no signs of personal rifts or significant issues. When examined more closely, this phenomenon reflects how fragments of information taken out of context can create massive waves in the digital era. The public, particularly global fan communities, often react quickly to emotionally charged clips without first checking the full source. As a result, perceptions formed can be very different from reality. In this case, the tension felt by millions of armies around the world stemmed from a collective misinterpretation amplified by social media's reach. Analysis from digital interaction monitoring teams showed that the emotional statement from Taehyung about Jungkook narrative began to gain traction after large following accounts uploaded short clips with dramatic captions. In less than 2 hours, the clip had been reposted thousands of times, accompanied by speculative comments that strengthened the impression of something serious. In many cases, fans' emotional involvement made them more likely to believe a narrative that aligned with their concerns, even without strong factual basis. Additionally, metadata and the original recording showed that the so-called emotional moment occurred during a segment of the broadcast that was actually filled with light-hearted interaction. Taehyung was reading fan comments, then answered a few questions about BTS members' activities. When mentioning Jungkook, he added a comment that they had not talked for long, but said it with a small laugh, not with the heavy tone imagined by the public after seeing the viral clip. This fact confirms that the widely spread news actually had no solid foundation. The difference between the perception formed by the clip and the full context was stark. In full context, there was no hidden message, no sign of internal issues, and no emotional tone intended to alarm fans. It was simply a misunderstanding magnified by the viral nature of content on social media. It is important to note that in today's age of open information, every snippet of a public figure's words can be freely interpreted by audiences. In this case, that free interpretation evolved into an almost uncontrollable narrative, obscuring the fact that the relationship between BTS members, including Taehyung and Jungkook, remains in good condition. Conclusion. The statement Taehyung made during his live broadcast on Weverse was never intended to reveal personal problems or emotional distance with Jungkook. What happened was a distortion of meaning due to clips being taken out of context and spread in a way that invited speculation. The two maintain a harmonious professional and personal relationship, and the narrative about millions of armies crying was in fact born from collective misunderstanding, not reality. Therefore, while emotional fan reactions are natural given their closeness to their idols, it is crucial to always review the complete source of information before drawing conclusions. This incident serves as a reminder that not everything that goes viral reflects the truth, and that a single sentence taken out of context can create a storm of opinion that has nothing to do with the actual reality behind it.